Hey, this is Pastor Scott Cruz with The Deeper Rock, and today I'm going to talk about a statement that I've heard a lot of Christians make. And the pretty famous Christians have made this statement, and it's this: if God doesn't apologize to Sodom and Gomorrah, that was totally not right. If God, okay. Hey, this is Pastor Scott Cruz with The Deeper Rock. Join us Sundays at West Acres Cinema, 10 a.m. every Sunday. I hope to see you there. There's a statement that I've heard a lot of Christians make, and it's this: if God doesn't judge America, He'll have to apologize to Sodom and Gomorrah. And I've heard this statement from a number of different sources, and people have been saying it, and it tends to come out when some Christian leader, after every natural disaster that happens, they get out and they make a statement saying, "Oh God, this is because of the judgment of God that this is happening." And I think it's patently untrue and irresponsible and offensive to say such a thing. Well, what do you mean, Scott? Why? I've heard, maybe you're thinking, I've heard some of these people say this. How can you say, Scott, that these people are wrong? Well, here's why. Sodom and Gomorrah was a city that was apart from God. And God has a conversation with Abraham in Genesis chapter 18, where God says, "I'm going to destroy this city because it is so wicked." Abraham says, "God, don't do that. What if we find 100 people that are righteous? Will you spare the city?" "Yeah, Abraham, for 100 people I'll spare the city." "Okay, God, how about for 50 people? He gets all the way down, saying, "God, if we can find 10 righteous people in the city, can you spare the city?" And God says, "Okay, for 10 righteous people, I will spare the city." So what God does is He sends 2 angels, and these 2 angels go to Gomorrah, or Sodom, and they go there, and they go to Lot's house, because Lot is the one righteous person that can be found in the entire city. And he brings them into his home. Now, this city was not evil because there were homosexuals there. Now, there probably were homosexuals there, but what happens gives you a picture of how completely deprived this city has become. The men of the city, the Bible says in Genesis chapter 19, comes out, and they're there, and the 2 angels are staying in Lot's house, and they say, "Bring those foreigners out here so that we can have sex with them." So a mob of men wanted to gang rape 2 angels. And Lot knows that these guys are from God, and so he's wants to be hospitable, and he doesn't want to allow anything bad to happen under their roof. And so and notice that the Bible says all of the men of the city. And so this was a socially acceptable thing. This was the entire city coming out to rape the 2 men that God had brought to Lot to check out, to see how evil the city was. Not making a great case for their city, by the way, wanting to rape the servants of God, coming to see how evil they are. Lot, being so overcome with worry that they're going to be violated while under his roof, goes out and says, "I have these 2 virgin daughters, will you take them instead?" At which time the angels reach out, grab Lot, bring him back in, and then bad stuff ensues. Now, I live in America. I live in Fargo, North Dakota, and there are more than 10 righteous people in our church every Sunday, in churches all across our city. There's not a place in America where the city could come out and are so depraved that they could overtly do that and get away with it. It doesn't exist. And so it is patently untrue that if God doesn't judge America, He'll have to apologize to Sodom and Gomorrah. Let me tell you that I have hope for America. I believe in America. I think incredible things, and I don't think God is done with America. I think America still holds blessing for our world to go out. And so I don't believe that when natural disasters happen, it's because God is judging America because there's too many gay people. I think it's offensive, I think it's wrong, and it makes me angry that men of God can step out and say such irresponsible things. I want to tell you, at The Rock, in our preaching, I don't believe that. I believe that God is a loving and gracious God, and that all of us have fallen short of His ideal. And my invitation is that you would join me in becoming as much like Jesus as we possibly can. Hey, may the Lord richly bless you, and I hope to see you in church on Sunday.